But tonight, we got somebody special here tonight. His name is Nicholas Bailey. He's in charge of IT. He's the VP of IT for Suponic. And without further ado, I want him to come out and unmute himself and actually take over the compensation plan, because he is a great speaker and also a person that I like listening to, because he's the way he says things and makes it easier for us to understand. So without further ado, Nicholas Bailey, come on and unmute yourself.
Thank you so much, Elmer. I really appreciate that, and I really do appreciate your leadership with Suponic Global and taking the time to get on a call with everyone here and to share your knowledge, to share your background. So ladies and gentlemen, again, my name is Nicholas Bailey, and I'm in the IT industry. Been in it for 30 years plus. I've also been in cryptocurrency as well since 2016. I've been experienced in many aspects of the technical world per se. I've seen a lot of things change in a very, very fast pace, and it's going to just change even more so. So quite honestly, I know I'm in the right place at the right time. So tonight, we are going to discuss 8 ways how you can earn income with Suponic Global. These are 8 components that will activate when you qualify for these components, and you'll start to see the stacking of these income components one after another, and they'll start to become a phenomenal way of making income. The company, Suponic Global, pays out 65% of what it brings in, so that's pretty phenomenal. Now, I'm just going to touch base on a few things. I know this is supposed to be a compensation plan, but I also want you to see the bigger picture here. The gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry. I'm sure most of you have heard this already on a lot of our presentations, but it's key to what we're trying to do here in Suponic Global. We talk about the cryptocurrency world, our Bitcoin, which is what we get paid in Bitcoin. And we also discussed the history of Bitcoin on Gail's presentations, as well as some of my own with other teams. And of course the SGC token, which is an extreme value and our pinnacle way of actually generating a multitude of incomes in this platform. Again, as I mentioned, Suponic Global is just giving you the keys of your success. It's just how much do you really want to put in to get what you want out of it. We have everything you need as far as marketing is concerned, as far as virtual tools are concerned. And for those of you might have some computer savviness, you potentially can create some drip systems with some emails and stuff and what have you. But at the same time, make sure that you touch base with our COO, Francis Yoon, just to make sure that the emails and the verbiage is pretty much under a safe compliance with Suponic Global. We always want to represent Suponic Global in a very credible and responsible way. Then, as I mentioned before, we can take this business anywhere we want. No lotions, no potions, no inventory, no auto ships, no door-to-door, no pots and pans, a computer and a tablet, you're good to go. That's it. And again, who's our audience? Our audience is worldwide. We are at pre-launch, yes. And after pre-launch, 150 countries will be open up to it. But technically, we can actually promote Suponic Global in any country we want right now. Okay, there's no limit. There's no limit of how you can promote this company because it's international. It's worldwide. So potentially, you can do that now. But I can almost assure you, come July, the rest of the world is going to know who Suponic Global is. So what do we have in front of us here? In putting all these components together, we have a wealth building ecosystem. So we cater to 3 different audiences: gamers, partners, and marketers. Gamers who are individuals who would love to play our Suponic Global games, which is 300 that Suponic Global has, and for those who are techie, we have the source code as well. a variation of games from simple games to very complicated games. I mean, they're a lot of fun. Jay Park, our chairman, spent no expense to make sure that these games were balanced for adults and young kids alike. And the gamers can actually generate themselves an income as well. Then you have the partners who actually look at our gaming coin, our SGC token. As many of you may or may not know, that the software development of games all throughout the world, they're tokenizing these games because it's an added value. So basically, if you develop a game and the game becomes very popular, the game actually makes a lot of money because it's a multi-billion-dollar industry anyway. But if you add a crypto token to it, and that token is needed in order to play the game, then that token goes up in value based on supply and demand. So this is the reason why you can actually see partners actually participating in Suponic Global, taking advantage of our pre-sale token that we have right now. And then of course we have the marketers. The marketers see a bigger picture. These marketers are wanting to build a team to capitalize on the bonus pays, the ranking bonuses, all the components that I'm going to be bringing up right now. They see that as a big picture, as well as being a partner, taking advantage of the SGC token on its pre-sale price. And of course, they'll play games too. Why not? So this is just a simple example of what a game revenue would do. So on average, there's 3 million players playing this game at one time. If they were to play with 10 Suponic game coins, average wagering, meaning that they will play against someone, and play a minimum of average of 2 minutes per play, the commission factor here is 15% on the winnings. Now with the 15% winnings, we burn these. Then we have a 5% donation to the Mamba Foundation, if I'm not mistaken. Thanks to our chief strategist, AC Green, and then 80% revenue. So this is a very basic slide that we don't necessarily have to put our hats on. So if we look at this in a gaming revenue example, if Suponic Global has 100,000 members playing the game only once a day with 10 SGCs. So let's make this a more simpler way of looking at this. The Suponic Global game revenue will be like this. With 3 SGCs times 50 members playing, that's 150,000 SGCs per day. Now what if the player plays 10 games per day? That's 150,000 SGCs times 10. That's 1,500,000 SGCs per day. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is an illustration. It's all based on your desire and your want to generate an abundance of revenue in this platform. So here, Suponic Global packages. This is where you can put yourself in a very wealth building situation, and I'll explain that in a little more in detail. First and foremost, you have this service, the SPG1, which is a minimum of $100 you can join Suponic with. And our coin is right now at 40 cents, where 5% of the coins that you receive from the $100 package, 5% get released so that you can use them as credit to play our Suponic games. Now, if you want to upgrade to, let's say, SPG2, all you have to do is pay the difference of the 500, which is $400. Okay, and as you can see, as you can promote yourself going forward from SPG1 to SPG5, it is a higher value package. But with the higher value package, you get a lot more SGC tokens. You have a lot more 5% of those tokens being unlocked so you can play the games. And you also put yourself in a high revenue position, and I'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Right now, this is our pre-sale schedule. Our pre-sale schedule can change at any given time. Sometimes our Jay Park, our chairman, is very gracious and allows us to extend our pre-sale period to allow the members to capitalize on the Suponic Global coin. As I mentioned, it is at 40 cents. and it will go to 45 cents, I would assume, on 5/31. But the company has full control over the pre-sale value. This is key for those of you who are looking to be partners. The company will have the ability to make what value is right for you at the given time. Come October 1st, then it'll be open up to the exchange, and then it's game on altogether. So if you are looking to take advantage of the SGC token, I highly suggest you look at this and make a decision. Compensation, our sponsor bonus. Okay, this is very, very simple. So if I came in at SPG1, $100, and I spoke to a person that wants to come in just as a partner, he doesn't want to do a business, he doesn't want to grow a team. So you explain to him that his best bang for his buck as a partner to take advantage of SPG coin is SPG5. So when you brought him in at 5%, he came in at $10,000, you made $500. Okay, so that's 5% on any of these packages ahead. Vice versa, if SPG5, you came in at SPG5 or you progress yourself up, you now maxed your compensation plan at 10% all across the board. So no matter what package anyone comes in below you, you are receiving 10%. Okay, compensation binary bonus. Okay, this again is conducive to the plan you come in, what package level that you come in on, SPG1 to SPG5. As you can see, you have a bonus percentages of 6 to 10%, and your daily payouts are anywhere from 300 to 10,000 limit per day. And your payouts are always paying out on your shortest binary leg, anywhere from 6 to 10%. And to qualify for this binary bonus, you must have one person on the right, you must recruit one person on the right and one person on the left. Okay, so again, this is one of the components I was referring to. And because you put one person on the right and one person on the left, you now have activated this component so you can receive revenue. Compensation binary matching. Okay, this is one of my favorite slides, and here's why. First and foremost, again, based on the compensation package that you chose, you now can generate 2% on generational levels. Again, you must have one recruit on the right and one recruit on the left. So let's make this real simple. Let's say you are a sponsor who brought in 5 individuals. So picture this. Get 5 individuals and just put them on all one imaginary line that you can see, those 5. And those 5 duplicate what you have trained them to do, putting one person on the right and one person on the left. So the first generation is the first 5 that you brought in. Those new members actually put in a person on the left and put a person on the right, and that is your second generation. Okay, on for left and right. Now here's the kicker. So as you're sponsoring these individuals, you can sponsor as many people as you want. That virtual line that I just asked you to view with all of those members on there can expand as wide as it wants because you're the direct sponsor to these individuals. And each of those new members will duplicate what you're doing and what I call build their own Christmas tree. And each and every one of them that is building their own Christmas tree, you are starting to see the generation levels from anywhere from 5 to 20 levels of generations. And some may want to build businesses, some may not. Some will just come in for the SGC token. Some want to do it part-time. Some are not interested in maxing out their comp plan. That's fine. We have a fluctuation of components that each and every person can tap into and activate and have these stacked on top of each other as we go forward. Compensation team dividends. This is daily 20 years based on profit wagering. Okay. Now, in order for you to qualify for this component, in order for you to activate it, you must play the game once a day for 2 minutes. Because why? Because the SGC token must be active in a blockchain that is up to 68,000 transactions per second, which is the fastest blockchain that I personally know. And this is conducive to how we activate this token and make it valuable based on supply and demand. So again, based on the package that you select, will be conducive to how many generations you qualify to earn 1%, 0.75%, 0.5, 0.25, 0.1. As you can see on the right, the diagram on the right, the first generation, as I asked you to make an imaginary line with your first line of people you brought in, that's your first generation. As you can see on the right hand side, the first generation, there is brought in 2 people below, okay? The other ones didn't do it, that's fine, okay? And then you have the one person that is just building straight down, which is what I call your power leg. But again, you can see the generational levels on a visual aspect. Again, this is another component that you just activated that is now stacking your income. This is based on an example. If you have 5 SPG packages and your team is 30 levels deep, 30 generations deep, and you will have 13.5% of wagering profit that team will have. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could, please, can you mute yourself out? Thank you. So given the example, if everyone plays 1 game per day with 10 SGCs, Suponic will get 3 SGCs. So 3 SGCs times 30, which is 30 days average per month, equals 90 SGCs for Suponic per day. Now those 90 SGCs times 13.5% based on five of your SPG packages at 30 generations deep, okay, that's 364 SGCs per month, okay. So again, this is why we want this Suponic global crypto coin to be bouncing off the fastest blockchain that Suponic Global has. So what if people play more than 1 game per day? So what if people play more than 10 SGCs per game? What if you have more than 1 team? Now this is very important. This last question below, it says, what if you have more than 1 team? That is conducive to the generational levels that I just referred to, and you being able to sign up as many people direct to you as you want and expand that uni level as wide as you want. So from a gamer income potential, this is just another example. You play 10 games per day with 10 SGCs. Each time he or she wins, he or she will make 7 SGCs. The other 3 goes to the company and gets burned, because you have to burn these SGC tokens, because then you create a supply and demand. If he wins 10 SGCs per day, then that's 70 SGCs per day. 70 SGCs times 30 days, that's 2,100 SGCs per month. Okay. Now, does anyone want to play the game and have fun and make money? I do. This is a no-brainer. As long as we're all active doing what we need to do to generate the SGC token as a valuable crypto token, we're all gonna benefit. It's just a win-win situation, in my opinion. Again, here we go. Another component that you can potentially activate yourself, and it will start to stack. Those components will start to stack after activating them, and they'll all start to fire off, and they'll start to create revenues for you, one after the other. Based on a package that you decide to come in on between SPG1 and SPG5, again, generational. We go right back to it again. Based on the package, you qualify for the generations of anywhere from 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, so forth and such at 2% each. Now, the key here is that you would need to purchase SGC tokens at $100 per month. This is not an auto ship. This is not mandatory. But what you do is when you purchase the SGC tokens and use those tokens to play the games, your team as a whole, as a generational group, will earn 2% each. 2% each. Now that's pretty awesome. Now, if we look at this more of a bigger picture, a numbers game, you bringing in your directs and them bringing in two, one on the right and one on the left. Given the example of SPG1, if you had 62 members on your team, you could potentially make $124 per month. Okay, so let's make this a little more realistic. SPG2, you had 2,046 members as a team, you being the sponsor, and then as your entire team, you could potentially make $4,000 a month. That's pretty darn good money. You didn't do this all by yourself. It's a team concept. This is a team concept. This is like a community concept, what I call a hybrid binary. Now, if we want to get unrealistic here, at SPG5 at 67 million, okay, new members, your potential is $134 million. Do I actually think that would happen? Honestly, no. But is it there for you to reach that goal? Absolutely. It's there for you to reach that goal. Jay Park created this compensation plan so that it works from the bottom up. Traditional binary compensation plans is you build a left, build a right, you build it in the inside, and then you have your compensation trickle, you have your compressions, all these things that that kind of fluctuate on a binary. But the person at the very bottom usually is not as lucrative in a binary unless he or she is actually bringing in a big team, which they're automatically getting revenue off the bat. But Jay Park was a genius in creating this binary so that when people come in, they can work from it works from the bottom going up. And you'll start to understand that as we go on. I do not expect you to understand everything that I may say, the compensation plan, but the bottom line is this: if you're coming in to do this business, here's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to recruit one on your right and one on your left, and you're just going to build a Christmas tree. And then you're going to teach them to do the same thing over and over again. And then what will happen is those components will start to kick in. Everyone starts to qualify for those components of the compensation plan, and all of a sudden you start to see stacking incomes left and right. It's phenomenal. Again, another component. I just love doing this compensation plan. Rank Advanced Global Pool. Gamer, Pro Gamer, Elite Gamer. My good friend Elmer had qualified recently to Pro Gamer, which means that on his pay leg, the short leg, accumulated more than $20,001. Now he qualifies for what? 1% of the pool, the global revenue pool, monthly. I mean, that's pretty darn good. Now, is it hard to get to these levels? No, it's not actually, because again, this is a team concept, team community build. And again, the revenues are being pushed up from the bottom going up, so it's not difficult at all. Now, if you think about it, folks, we're about a month old of registering members, where I think we potentially are either not 1,900, we could be at 2,000 members in less than a month. So the timing is realistic for all of you to promote Suponic Global and to start building teams on your binaries. And as you do that, and as everyone is engaged and doing their part, your pay leg is going to see it increase in revenue. And you're going to see the amount of income on those legs based on the back office of your Suponic Global account. So it's not unrealistic for you to meet these qualifications. Some will do it faster than others. Some will maybe do it slower than others. You go at the pace you want. Some do this full time. Some do this part time. This is not a race to the finish line for anyone. This is a business where you can be comfortable with doing and being satisfied that your efforts that you put in is what you get out of it. And that's the bottom line. If you put 24/7 on this compensation plan and recruiting and building a business, you're gonna exponentially make a significant amount of money. But if you're just doing it for part-time, that's good too. Now, how do you actually get yourself engaged in making sure that you are going to qualify for the components that I mentioned? Well, this is a slide that I actually created. This is called your best bang for your buck. These are all the resources that you need to tap into. We have our Zoom calls, daily presentations, weekly back office training, marketing and mindset training, helping build your team. Are you doing these? Not right now. We're teaching you to be leaders. Right now, you need to utilize myself, Elmer, Gail, our Director of Communications, Doc Allen. We all are here to help you. And then, of course, we have our CEO, Jock Johnson, on our SIZZEL calls during the afternoon with AC Green, and once in a while, we would be privileged. We have a privilege of hearing Jay Park himself. And then, not to mention the pro basketball players that recently came on to Suponic Global, and they're very polarized characters of a professional sport. That this is a sport where mental and physical being is a must. It's very demanding. And they know the entrepreneurial world as well, so they bring that to the table, as well as being a polarized figure in the pro athlete industry. I mean, that's great. It brings a lot of credibility to Suponic Global, and I won't be surprised if there will be more pro athletes coming, as potentially major companies, as well as musicians and entertainers. I will not be surprised. We also have this ongoing training website that I created for everyone. This is just a website that I decided that I felt we all needed. We get real busy in our lives with being parents, and some of us have full-time jobs. I just don't have the time to get on all these Zoom calls. So they're here on the virtual back office with videos that you can listen to, and hard copies of PDFs that are there for you as well. And then last but not least is our back office, or virtual back office of Suponic Global. This is a very, very good website. But again, the pages are very simple. They're very easy to navigate. It's not hard to navigate around there. You have your sign-in button. You have a person that can click the register button and register themselves with Suponic Global with your help. You can actually get a report, or a daily report, of how many people register on your left or right leg, and that has a little analytic chart in the inside as well. You have your replicatable link that you can share with someone who's interested in joining you with Suponic Global. And of course, on the bottom right hand side, you have a menu of all the options you can use in the back office flawlessly. You have your upgrade packages, game coin package, my bonuses, my wallets. You have everything you need in order to do this business anywhere in the world. Okay? So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of the compensation plan. I do hope that you enjoyed it. And of course, if you have any questions regarding of the compensation plan, or anything about Suponic Global, please feel free to get back with your sponsors and ask those questions, and they can get those answers through a lot of the leadership here. So I will go ahead and send this back over to Elmer. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Great presentation. Great compensation presentation, Nicholas Bailey, VP of IT for Suponic. Thank you so much.